right. So I'm super excited.
Me too.
Super excited because I have Donna here. She's a shiny light mom, and she's gonna bring us on an amazing journey today, talking to us about her journey with Drew and what is happening also now in your life, which is very interesting and very unique. But we're going to go there in a second. So welcome everybody that are watching. I know that you're going to get a lot from what Donna is about to share. And thank you, Donna, for being here. We did it. We did it. Drew and Shannon were the ones that pushed me to have this podcast. So I'm so happy that we finally are making this happening.
Yay.
Awesome. All right. So go ahead and tell us about yourself a little bit and who you are. And we're starting from there.
Okay. Thanks, Sylvia. I'm super happy when you asked me to be on your chat here to talk to people that are listening that have lost their loved ones and how to find them and how to connect with them. I hope I am able to help someone out there. You know, I'm a mom. Of course, I have 3 beautiful children, Diana, David, and Drew. And Drew's my youngest, and he was the one that passed. He passed on May 19th, 2019, from an unintentional self-inflicted gunshot wound. Fortunately, I was able to be by his side before he passed over. And, you know, those events are etched in your mind forever. And it was at 9:11 in the morning and devastating for my whole family. But before we start going into that, I did want to tell you a little briefly about Drew, because it's pretty important to know him. He's pretty unique, and the journey that I went in and how he's pushed me towards that. So when he's a little boy, he just wanted to play. He wanted to be outside. He loved animals. He wanted to save all the dogs in the world. Any unwanted dog, he wanted to get a farm, put all those dogs there, and he would take care of them. That's what he thought his life purpose was when he was little. So he was just an animal lover. But when he got into middle school and high school, it was pretty apparent he was pretty athletic. He would try all sports and he was good at it. It was a gift of his. He tried hockey in high school. He joined a hockey team in high school, and he had never played ice hockey before. And within a year, he was so proficient that he became the assistant coach. So he has a lot of determination. He also was very brilliant at memorizing. If you went to the show with him, to a movie, you walk out, he could remember the lines of an actor and start acting them and act just like they did. And it would just make us laugh. He just was a comedian. He also can sing. He can sing and dance like Justin Timberlake, Michael Jackson. He can sing from country music to R&B. He really is a performer. And he just is an all-around good guy. Like, people liked him, I think, because he was so down to earth. He had no airs about him, and he was just so well liked. And he just was your buddy. That's how he was with everybody that he was around. But I did notice his last quarter in high school, his first year in college, the anxiety, he started getting anxiety, a lot of anxiety. And soon after that, depression moved in. And he really struggled with that most of the rest of his life until the age of 28, you know, he passed over. So it was a struggle for him. When he passed, weeks before he passed, I was given divine signs, validations that Drew is fine. And if it's okay, I'd like to talk about those divine signs.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So the first thing that happened is 3 weeks before Drew passed, I had a woodpecker. And it wasn't just a normal woodpecker. We have about 10 windows on the side of our house. And this woodpecker would peck all day long from morning to night. You'd shoo him away. He'd come back and he would be pecking on the glass like he was deranged. I've never seen a woodpecker like this. And it went on for 3 weeks. As soon as Drew passed, there was no woodpecker. And it's been 2.5 years, and I've never had a woodpecker peck on my glass window like that. And to me, that was a divine sign from God that Drew's okay and that it was to happen. And he was telling me, it's fine. It was to happen. So that's how I took that sign. It was a very validating sign for me. The other one was just a couple weeks before Drew passed, Ken and I, my partner, we were getting like stomach issues. So we thought, oh, it's probably a good time to get a colonoscopy. So we scheduled our appointment for a gastroenterologist. And it so happened to be 3 days after Drew passed. But we kept our appointment and we went. And the doctor did say, you both need colonoscopies. Come see my scheduler, Lisa. Lisa's going to schedule your appointments. So I sat down and Ken went into the lobby and she was trying to get me to find a date. And I couldn't. I was so discombobulated and I couldn't focus, and I apologized to her and I said, my son just passed. I can't, I'm sorry, I just can't get it together with the date. And she stood up and she hugged me and she whispered in my ear, I have somewhere for you to go. And she said, I lost a son. Her son passed, crossed over 8 months before that. And she says, I've gone to a Helping Parents Heal meetings and a support group, and they are pivotal in my healing, and I would like to invite you. She said, can I call you later? And I said, yes, of course. So we made our appointment and I went home. And that night, Lisa called me and she says, I have some good news. We're having a meeting in 2 weeks. It's at this address, but it's on the same day as your colonoscopy. I'm like, oh no. But she says, it's in the evening. It's in the evening. So I said, okay, that's all right. I'll figure out how to get there, right? And we had our colonoscopies. We came home and I wasn't going to go. But Ken said to me, no, Dana, I have a very, very strong feeling you need to go there. I said, okay, I'll go. So I Ubered it, got in my car, Ubered over. And, it's at somebody's house, and all the people there that are at the support group are shining light parents. That's what they call us, moms and dads that have a son or a daughter that crossed over. And when I got there, being a newbie, the co-founder, Elizabeth, she sat next to me and she said, Dana, tell us about 5 minutes. Tell us about Drew. So I did. And there was a lady directly in front of me across the room who was looking at me so intently, and her energy, I just felt it. I'm like, wow, something's going on there. And when it got to her turn, she says, Dana, I want to tell you, when you were talking, I want you to know that your son kissed you on your cheek. And she says, I didn't lose. She says, I have 2 children that have passed over at different times. And I actually can see and hear them. And I can see Drew right now. And it's funny, she says, he wants you to know that when you were in the hospital with him and he was laying in the bed, you took covers because you felt his legs and they were cold. So you took the covers and you pulled them down and you tucked him in just like that. And he wants you to know he wasn't laying in the bed at that time. He was standing right next to you. And I did exactly what she said. I tucked Drew in, and his blankets were up by his waist. So usually they're down by the feet, right? So everything she said was right. Then she said, I want you to know Drew, and she started laughing, is dressed in a parachute outfit. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, he's always wanted to try parachuting. So she says, but he has a message for you. He wants you to know he hit the X, that he hit the X. And I said, oh, okay. So I didn't know what that meant. And I went home and I couldn't wait to get home and tell Ken. And Ken said, wow, Dana, he goes, remember when we were in Canada this past weekend? We had flown to Canada and we were at breakfast. I was telling my daughter that I parachuted out of a plane by myself and I hit the X. Remember, I looked at you because I didn't think you were listening. I said, no, Dana, I hit the X. And I said, oh my gosh, Drew is alive. Drew is experiencing in Canada, not in Phoenix where I live, in Canada, that Ken hit the X. And he was trying to tell me, Mom, I'm right next to you. I heard the entire conversation. And that was my validation that I know Drew's right next to me. I found him. He's right next to me. And those are some pretty big validations for me that Drew's really with me, that he's not in some far off place where I can't connect to him. So I just feel like if you have a loved one that passed over and that love is so great, they're going to find you and they're going to show you that they're right by you, that they're not gone, they're not lost, that they're right here.
I had
So,
shivers while you were speaking all this time, like shivers down my spine, like incredible.
yeah,
Sorry, just go ahead, continue. What were you saying?
right. So I just want to say that now that I found Drew, actually found him, he's right next to me, is now I need to somehow connect to him because he could connect to Lisa. Why can't he connect to me? I should be able to do that. If she can, why can't I? So that started my journey on, okay, I need to connect with Drew. I need to figure this out and do it. And it made me thirsty. So I read books. I watched YouTube. I watched every near-death experience on YouTube. I talked to my friends at the support group. I took classes. I took classes by Scott Milligan and by you, Sylvia. And, you know, I've known you now for 1.5 years, and it's been such a pleasure to work with you and to have your teaching. And it really put me on a path that I couldn't stop. And although for me, it's only been 2.5 years, I still consider myself a newbie in this whole new journey of afterlife. And I'm in no way an authority on how to connect, but I know the way that I do it. And I thought, well, if I can do it, everyone else probably has that gift and power to do it themselves. It just takes you to practice it. And that's why I'd like to explain like how I did that.
Absolutely, yes, because trusting and surrendering, it's big in this work to connect the spirit. So yes, go ahead. And by the way, I wanted to say welcome to everybody that are watching. And if you have questions for Dana, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll ask her your questions. Okay, go ahead. Tell us, how did you start connecting?
Okay, so my quest really started with Drew. So if Drew is able to experience what I'm experiencing and tell me he can see what's happening to me, I want to talk to him on the phone. I miss talking to Drew. I miss seeing him. I miss talking to him. And that drive pushes me to connect with him. So the first thing that we do is, I was taught, is to sit quietly, to go into a room and to be quiet, because the quietness allows your soul, for you to feel your soul. Your soul came from heaven or from the eternal world or wherever somebody believes, but I believe it comes from heaven, your soul. And when you sit quietly, your soul will open up. And us on earth, we're in a dense form, so we have a low vibration. We need to bring our vibration up. The spirit world has a really high vibration, their energy, so they need to bring their vibration down. And when we come together because of love, it's because of love we come together, we can communicate. So how do we as humans increase our vibration? One way is by sitting quietly. And I'll go into a little bit what I do when I sit quietly. But another way to increase your vibration is sing. Singing increases your vibration, and also prayer increases your vibration. And this method of sitting, they'll call it, sometimes you'll hear sitting in the power, mindfulness you'll hear, it'll be some sort of meditation. You'll hear different words, but it's a form of prayer. When you sit and you're in a quiet room and you shut the door, and I try to take out all the light, and I put myself in a chair and I rest I'm able to rest, keep my legs not tense, nothing's tense on me. And then I close my eyes and I listen to my breath in and out, in and out. And that's what I'm focusing on, is my breath. Now, do I hear the sounds of my room? Yes, I do. I hear the fan humming. I do hear a clock ticking. And sometimes I can even hear people outside. But all I do is I acknowledge it. I say, yes, I hear you, fan. Yes, I hear you, clock. And once you acknowledge it, you bring your focus back to your breathing. And then soon you'll find yourself going into a peaceful state. Also, what I do is I pretend that I imagine I'm up on the highest tree and I'm sitting on a leaf, and that leaf is going back and forth. And for some reason, when that does it to me, I feel like, oh, I am so peaceful. I can almost go into a trance kind of state, peaceful state. And it's just like if you're on a boat and it gentle rocks. I can go to sleep on a boat when it gently rocks. Or a baby, right? A baby you cradle and a baby will go to sleep. We're just humans. That's how we can relax. So I imagine myself on that, and I can go deeper and deeper into this peaceful state. And when you're in that peaceful state, your mind, not your brain, your mind is where those words from your loved ones will come in. Words, messages from God, messages from Jesus will come in. They're very quick. How do I know the difference from my own imagination to my Drew or God or Jesus or anybody else? I have a brother in spirit, and I know it's them because I feel them. So I know the difference. And their words, when they come in, it is so quick. It's almost like I have to grab them and bring those words back and say, oh, okay, I heard your message. I heard it. Okay, now I can relax again and feel their messages again. Now, not every time do I get messages. There's many times I don't. But when I do get them, they're definite messages for me. And now, as I sit today, 2.5 years later, sometimes I'm getting messages when I'm sitting talking to Ken, or I'm driving a car. I can get the messages coming, and they come in quick, and that's how I know it's them. So for the listeners out there that want to be able to connect, my suggestion is to sit every day, as many days as you can. It doesn't take long. I would say maybe 30 minutes is what I do. it can be longer some days it's shorter. But I do sit, and I sit by myself, and I sit quietly, and I do exactly what, you know, I've done what I have just said. So I hope that helps everybody. Oops, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I muted myself because of the AC. I was saying that's a wonderful suggestion. The message that came to me from Spirit to make it easy for people to understand is that the same time that you would take to have a phone call with your loved ones every day or text message is the same time that now needs to be found to train yourself in this new way of communicating. So you need to have, they called it in my head an appointment with them, so that, as you're saying, then they can show up more often in your day-to-day life, even when you're not sitting. So that's a wonderful tip, and that's what mediums have to do when they want to connect others, when they want to be a bridge for others. So thank you so much for that suggestion. If there are questions from the people that are listening, please write them down in the comments. Dana will be more than happy to reply to them. This is wonderful. What you're saying, what you're sharing with everybody is so simple, but just because it's simple doesn't mean that it's not effective. Actually, it's the opposite. It's just a matter
Right.
of taking the time and
Yeah.
taking the decision to do it.
Yeah. And you know, Drew, even though I've gotten signs all along. I mean, unbelievable signs from him. And I don't need the signs to tell me he's alive, but what I need his signs for is that's how he manifests his love now to me. It's the only way he has to communicate with me is when I sit, or if he's able to communicate his words. But so often it's a sign of love. And when you have somebody that you love so deeply and they crossed over, that hole in your heart can get healed somewhat by these signs, these validations. And by no doubt, I know it's true. Like I feel it. I feel it when it happens. He shows me so many pennies. It was only a few months after he passed, and I went into my dressing room, and he actually rolled a penny to me. And the reason I felt Drew that morning very strong, and Ken even said to me, he says, Dana, I feel Drew. And I said, oh my gosh, I do too. It's so strong. And I went into my dressing room, and clear across in this wavy carpet, I have a penny rolling to me, and it flips over right in front of my foot. And it was a shiny copper penny. And we used to watch that movie Ghost together. And Whoopi Goldberg, you know, with the penny list. And it was immediately in my head, Drew, thank you so much. And I have to say, when you get an undeniable sign, I thank Drew, because I mean, I don't know. Is it easy for them? I don't know. Is it easy for them to pick up a penny and roll it across, or are they asking their angels or as somebody else, hey, my mom needs something right now, you know? I don't know what it takes, but thanking them is big for me as well, to thank Drew.
I love that. I love that, acknowledging the signs. It's beautiful. I actually wanted to go back and actually say something about you speaking about the fact that when you were at the appointment, you were getting the appointment for your, how do you call it? Colonoscopy. Yes. The fact that you spoke about what happened instead of keeping it for yourself. The fact that you said, my child just transitioned, allowed for that woman to know what was going on, and for things to take a very fast pace, because who knows, maybe you would have not known about helping parents heal up until later on, you know, maybe months later. So I feel like that's also very important. And the fact that your partner suggested or said, I have a strong feeling that you should go to that meeting, it's also very important, the fact that he was feeling comfortable enough to share with you, and you were open to actually go and see what was that about. Because when we do this little uncomfortable things for us humans, they are very uncomfortable. It's still them trying to bring us in the right direction. So I wanted to underline that, because sometimes I know that for a mom whose child has transitioned, just getting up from the bed can be very hard. So I wanted to appreciate all of the moms and dads that actually push through, because I know that every time that they do that, their children are very happy. I have a couple of questions here that are coming through. One is from from Tara. Do you now receive messages for others to pass on to friends or co-workers, etc.?
Yes, Tara. Hi, Tara. Yes, I just recently started hearing from others that have crossed over. Just the other day, I heard from Ken's dad, and he said it because Ken's dad is from New Zealand, and they have that English kind of accent, and that's how he came to me, is with the accent. And that's how I felt that it was him, and I gave that message to Ken. So yeah, I'm on my way to hearing from other people as well. I've heard from my brother as well. Yeah.
Yes, and sometimes you also have been joining the circle, and you've been giving messages to other people. So yes.
Yeah.
Then I have Dawn that says, beautiful, I'm just joining, and I'll go back and watch from the beginning. Then Tara says, what a beautiful sign. I believe that she's talking about the penny. And Dawn says, I love all my validation from Dylan. Oh my goodness. Pennies from Dylan as well. Hearing all about Drew. He and Dylan sound so much alike. Thank you for this conversation. And Tina, hi Tina. She says, beautiful. Mary says, gratitude, beauty, and creativity puts me in a higher vibration too, and more receptive. So being grateful for a sign received helps me receive more signs. Yes. Yes. Taylor,
I wanted to comment too, Sylvia, when you were talking about when Lisa, the scheduler, who is a Shining Light mom as well, if you are a Shining Light mom and with Helping Parents Heal, I mean, I give so much credit to Lisa for saying it, because in the scheduling room, she wasn't the only person. There was another coworker, and I think that's why she whispered it into my ear. And I give her credit for saying it, because I don't know where I would be without that support group. Where would I have gone? And it's a beautiful support group. It needs its stars, because it just helps so much. It's pivotal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And something else that comes to mind is the fact that we never know when we're helping somebody. It could be something that to us is like, doesn't make sense, or we don't want to say it, but we never know. And we must share it, because it can literally change the course of the event for somebody,
Yes.
So
we have that innate thing to say, say it, right? And sometimes you hold back and, I don't want them to think different or whatever, but just say it, right? I mean, Lisa and I, we're very good friends, and her son, Samuel, we always think Sam and Drew were up to something, when he crossed over. I'm sure he met Sam, and they said, these moms need to meet. So we always say, they conjured something together.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. And Drew sent me amazing signs, like his name as a graffiti. Remember when I was supposed to start a podcast, he sent me like 5 times or 4 or 5 times his name that day, in different ways. And I remember sending all the pictures to you, and I was like, what do you want? And then you said that he used to say that same line from,
what do you want? It was from The Grinch, and it was another movie that he loved. He loves Jim Carrey. It was an idol. And he loves to be funny. He wanted to make you laugh and say, "What do you want?" Oh yeah, that cracked me up, Sylvia. That is Drew. And so
And
still like his personality just shines, even though he is across the veil, he still shines. It just cracks me up. I do want to say one other sign that most recently happened, I think it's because of my connection as well, sitting. We call it sitting in the power of some sort of meditation, but I think it had to do, Drew passed in Virginia Beach, and we were supposed to go on his first year anniversary last year, but it was COVID, so we canceled. And then now the 2-year anniversary came up, and we decided we would go, Ken and I. But a month before we were going to go, I started getting a lot of anxiety that I don't want to go, that it's going to be extremely sad. And I thought, I'm going to cry the whole time. I don't want to put myself into that space. But Ken, being Ken, he said, "Dana, it's okay. If we get there and you're so sad, we'll just drive down the shoreline." And I said, "Okay." So we got on that plane, and it's the funniest thing. All of a sudden, we were getting closer to Virginia Beach, and I had this overwhelming joy. I was so excited to get there and be there. And it was like that for 4 days. I was like from morning to night. And what I think it was is Drew's energy was so close to me. I felt his excitement. He wanted to show me every restaurant he went to, the boardwalk where he rode his scooter and his bike, the beach, the water. He loved it. He loved his job. The people at his job, they're very mindful people, and quickly 3 men became his really good friends. And he was so happy there, and he wanted me to experience. I had never been there. He had only been in Virginia Beach 6 weeks before he passed, so I didn't get to see it, but I was able to see it, and I had such validation from him when I was there. It was every day, multiple validations, and just having his energy, almost him channeling me, was amazing. Amazing.
I remember you told me about what you smell while you were on the beach. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So it was the last day in Virginia Beach, and it was the day that he passed. It was his 2nd anniversary, and I wanted to be at the beach at the time, 9/11, on that morning. I wanted to be there, and I wanted to sit quietly and see if I could connect with Drew. So I went down, and I didn't want to leave Virginia Beach. I told Ken, I'm not leaving. I don't know what we're going to do. Maybe we have to move here. I don't know, but I'm not leaving. I love it here. I have this joy. I don't want it going away. So I went down to the beach. Ken went with me. I sat down on the blanket, and he went for a walk. And I said, "Come back at 9:10. Drew passed at 9:11. Come back at 9:10 so that I am aware that it is the exact time." So he said, "Okay." So as I was sitting, my imagination went to Drew, and he was sitting right next to me. And I was just telling him, "I know it's you. I knew this is why you wanted me to come here. You wanted me to enjoy this boardwalk, this beach, everything you loved, I experienced, and I loved it, Drew." And I said, "But I'm human, but I need an undeniable sign, Drew. Please, I need an undeniable sign." So Ken comes walking back. He says, "Dana, it's 9:10. I said, okay, Ken. I'm sitting. Ken's standing. There's no one on the beach. It's in the morning. It's during the week. Yes, I can see people off in the distance, but nobody is around us." And then Ken said, "It's 9/11. I said, "Okay." And all of a sudden, I smelled cigarette smoke. Drew was a smoker and he knew I hated it, but this was beautiful. This was beautiful. So I'm sitting there and then I start looking around. Is there somebody smoking a cigarette? I mean, it was so strong, like they had to be right here. And I'm looking and nobody has a cigarette, not even near me. People are so far away. And Ken goes, "What's wrong?" And I go, "Do you smell something?" And he goes, "No, I don't smell anything." And I go, "Oh my gosh, Drew, thank you so much. Thank you. That was my undeniable sign. And right after that sign, I said, "Ken, I'm ready to go. We can now go home." I just felt it. It was like, it was just, it was true. It was true. He's so funny. He's still
He's,
funny.
he's funny.
He
And
heals me. That's how he heals me.
mm,
And even that same trip, he put a song in my head. It's called Glorious Moments. And we arrived there on a Saturday night and I started humming this song. And I'm like, what am I humming? I don't get this. And so finally Sunday morning, I called my daughter and I said, "Diana, what is this song?" And she started putting the words together. And the words are, "Now that my sins are forgiven, my spirit is free. In grace, I think." It was something like, wait, I'll have to sing it. "Now that my sins are forgiven, my heart is pure and free. In spirit, I'm with you in heaven. For grace has thou granted me." I cried. I'm like, "Drew, thank you. Your sins are forgiven. You got grace." It was just amazing. I didn't sing that song. He put that in my head. Those were those things that come in so quick. I'm calling my daughter, "What is that? What is that?" Right? And she's able to validate that song for me. And I sang it all week. I couldn't get it out of my head.
beautiful.
So yeah, it's these validations are just love from your loved ones. It's love. It's manifesting their love to you, and it's beautiful.
Mm. Isn't that a superpower?
Yeah.
That love. Isn't that incredible? To me, it's like incredible that we're able to stay connected in between veils. It's so mysterious and so sacred, so beautiful. There isn't a word to express how perfect it is. And God put this love right here. We don't have to search it anywhere else. It's
No.
right here for us to cultivate, for us to harvest, for us to understand how to use it. It's right here. And the rewards that it gives us, I mean, there aren't words for that. They are not material rewards. They are rewards that you bring within your soul forever, because once you meet him again, and you see him, it's gonna be as if like you haven't seen him for, I don't know, maybe yesterday was the last time, because
Exactly.
you kept the connection alive.
Yes.
And that's
I
what you want, and what he wants, and what everybody wants for us to keep on doing. Go ahead, sorry.
I was just going to say, when we do cross over, it's just like taking off your coat. You're still the same person. You still have that personality. I mean, I recognize Drew just by his signs, his funny signs, and like you said, that sign to me is sacred. That song that he put in my head, because I worried about Drew. I mean, when he passed, I'm a mom. He was my youngest son. I mean, I wanted to know, where are you? Are you okay? And I used to pray, take care of him. like, I can't take care of him. I'm his mom. I'm here on earth. I can't take care of him anymore. I need somebody. God, I need you. Jesus, I need you to take care of him. And, with God's grace, Drew is in heaven with God's grace. So that song being put into my head was just beautiful to me. Beautiful validation.
It's beautiful. So grateful that you can share this with everybody. I want to read some comments here that are coming through. Tara says, yeah, sharing helps us all. I believe I can imagine those spirits giving each other high fives. The more we share, the more we get. And Mary says, I love when you said the messages come in quick, and that's how you know that they're from spirit. That resonates. Thank you. They definitely work together, just like us, says Tara. Yes. My world, Dawn says, my world has become so open and renewed. Dylan shows me how to keep my eyes wide open and seeing with new eyes. Yes. Dina says, nothing makes me smile more than an unexpected message from Chris. Yes.
Yes, Tina, absolutely.
And Dawn says, I love the title, Shining Light Mom. Yeah, she shines, and you all mamas are shining light moms. And as a daughter, it makes me so emotional. It's just so beautiful. It fills my heart. It fills my heart to see the hope that you're willing to speak into other people's heart. And your daughter, she says, my heart is pure and free. That was the line that was missing. And Mary says, it's beautiful. And sometimes we are so ready to dismiss these validations. Sometimes I feel influenced by people who are skeptical. So I appreciate this so much. Yes, I totally agree. I feel like we need to put ourselves in a group of people that support us and are willing to share the signs with us and are willing to believe, because what spirit says to me is we can decide to believe in whatever we want, right? We are free. Nobody tells us, nobody imposes anything onto us, but as long as what we believe is empowering us, that's what matters. If it's not empowering us, if it's not allowing us to see beyond, then why are we keeping a belief that is not helpful, is not benefiting us at all? So absolutely, that's why I love talking about signs, and I want more people to talk about signs because they are real. They are just like what you were saying, Dana, the way that they have to communicate with us now. What else can they do? They probably can do a lot of other things, but
are we noticing it? Are
right.
we noticing those other things?
Right.
I mean, sometimes I hear people saying, is that really a sign? And I'll say, well, did you feel them when you had that sign? Yes, it's a sign. I mean, if you feel, all you have to do is say, Drew, I need to talk to you. I need you here. I can feel him. And we all can do this. We all have a gift. We all have, if you want to call it a power or a gift, we all have it. We just have to practice sitting and being quiet and letting our soul and our mind open up. And it will. I mean, the first time I actually heard Drew, he was already gone a year and a half. And I heard it not with my ears, but with my mind. It was his voice and his words. And I was like, oh my gosh, Ken, I just heard Drew. And I was just sitting talking to him. I wasn't even sitting. And the first time I actually saw him, not with my eye, but with my mind, was a few months after he passed. He immediately came right into my vision with his big smiling face. And I knew, okay, Drew, you're okay. You just want your children to be okay. As a mother, you want them to be okay. And when Drew would show me that he was smiling and he wasn't like have anxiety, he showed me one time, he was just like really like laid back, sitting sitting in a chair, and I'm like, and he was happy, he was smiling. I'm like, wow, Drew, you're so different. You're not like that hyper guy. And I knew he was okay. So don't think that and maybe some people see with their eyes, but I saw with my mind, and I feel him with my mind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, when you say your mind, as you were saying, this is just a coat. This is just what is covering who we truly are. So in order to connect with who we truly are, we need to go back to that essence that is within us, because that's the Wi-Fi that interconnects us. So I at the beginning expected for things to happen outside of me, but that's a huge learning lesson, that this is just an illusory reality that we're living in temporarily. But there is something else that they want to show us. And we really need to keep on opening and opening and opening and opening.
Yeah, I've only been in it 2.5 years. I know this is a journey. It's a lifelong journey in connecting. And I had my brother, Tom, he passed, about 10, 11 years ago. And the day he passed, I smelled him. And I didn't know that that was a sign. And I called my mom and dad and I said, I smell Tom. I smell him. And my dad also smelled him. So I didn't even know, like, that is that what we call it, a sign? I mean, it was a validation. He was next to me, right? So yeah, we can even smell.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that, because sometimes I ask myself, why don't people accept that this is real? Like, why do they close themselves up to the signs? They don't want to acknowledge them, they don't want to believe. And the only thing that comes to mind is that they might not be ready to experience the joy that comes with acknowledging the signs and realizing that there is so much more to life. What do you think about that?
I really think, because I really think they live in this world and they think this is the end all. This is it. And they can't think that the unseen world is right here. Yes, I can't see the unseen world, but I know they're here. And some people have a hard time with that. They need to see it, actually see it. And I think until something major happens to them, a child going, or a wife, or their brother, or their sister, somebody that they love dearly, they may stay skeptic. I know there's parents out there that are skeptic. But that's the only thing I can think of. They're in this world, they think this is it. And, in the beginning when Drew passed, I just wanted to find him, and knowing that he's right next to me, that was such a big weight off my shoulder, that he's okay. But yeah, it would have to be that it's their reality, that they think that it can't possibly be that their loved one is standing right next to them and experiencing. Sometimes I think people who are skeptic, they do need to see a medium, but even that, sometimes that doesn't even work. They make excuses of maybe why that person said one thing or another thing. I think it's their journey.
Right. They go at their own pace.
Yeah.
Everything is in divine timing. Yes. So let me read a couple of comments here. Your daughter says, beautiful job, Ma, and you look beautiful too. Yes. Your mom is beautiful. And Amy says, all a new language. Yes, it's a new language. And Mary says her son Brian is so funny because when I question, is it you? He then sends me more and bigger feathers until I have to laugh and say thank you.
I love that.
And Amy says, religion, dogma, and stigma keeps people doubting. Yes, could be as well. Many reasons, yes. So I would like to share the video that you have brought of Drew. Do you want to say something before the video?
Let me show you. I don't know. Can I share a video?
Yeah. Do you want to do
Okay.
it from the computer or from your phone?
No, I can do it from my computer. Am I a host, a co-host, or?
Yes, now you are.
Okay, how am I going to do that?
So down, you can see share screen.
Yeah, but I gotta get this over to my other screen.
Well, you have two screens. You're so professional.
But it's not moving. Let me see if I can get it up here. Hang on.
And if you have questions for Dana while we make this happen, just feel free. Or if there's something that you want to share. I love that many people share the signs that they receive.
Whoops. Sorry, Sylvia.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Do you want
Okay, let me see if I can't share the screen now.
When you share the screen on the bottom left, you also have to share the sound if you want for us to share the sound. So both the screen and then.
Okay, can you see that, Sylvia?
No.
I'm just gonna put, this is Drew.
We cannot see yet.
Oh, you can't see? Let me see. Okay, I'm sharing, but oh, share.
Okay,
now you probably can see my screen, can't you?
Yeah, we see the join a live Zoom. Yes.
Oh, you're on mute. Can I hear? Oh no. Okay, now I can hear you, Sylvia. Can you hear me? Okay, so can you see this little thing here? All right, so let me make it a little bit bigger, and so I can play Drew here.
This is a picture of him.
Yeah, and this is Diane and David. And that's him riding his bike. He just loved bike riding too. So that's my Drew. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sylvia, for sharing that with me.
No, of course. I love it. And I love the picture of all of them together.
Yes. They're very close siblings, extremely close. And yeah. Oops.
I'm going to share can I share the video now so that I can see how he moves? Yeah. He's got moves.
I wish this thing would, okay.
Now can you see my screen?
Let me, I can't get my screen to go away. Yeah, go ahead, Sylvia.
Okay, I think everybody should be able to see my screen. You ready for this? This is Drew.
Don't you feel like crying? Don't you feel like crying? Here I am, honey. Come on. You cry to me. Whoa, nothing can be sadder than the last of mine alone. Loneliness, such a waste of time. Oh yeah, you don't ever have to walk alone. Oh, you see, come on, take my hand and baby, won't you walk with me? Oh yeah, and you waited for us to. Don't you feel like a cry?
Oh my goodness. I love the knee bending.
Yes.
And the way that he holds the microphone.
Yes. Yeah, they my kids perform every Christmas with a song, and that was his last Christmas, and that was his song. Or no, that wasn't his last Christmas. The last Christmas was he sang a country song. This was the year before. But yeah, he's such a performer. They all three of them are.
I love it. I'm so grateful that you shared a piece of him with us, a piece of performer through the performer with us, because that's perfect. That's him. That's his
That's him.
essence.
Yep, that's him. And he comes through his validations, a lot of them with his brother and sister are through songs. They really, they're all through his songs. And he was very musically inclined.
I want to ask you something else before letting you go. Oh my goodness, by smiling so much, my jaw is hurting. Because it's so funny. I watched that video so many times. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is great. I wanted to ask you, can you speak about this with your family openly? I know with your partner. Can you speak with his siblings as well?
I do. I with David and Diana and Drew's dad, my family. Yes, I speak openly on my signs and my validations, definitely. Just recently, my ex-mother-in-law, she passed at the end of June, and she came to me before she passed, and she wanted to know how the afterlife is. And I don't think she's definitely not a skeptic, but I don't know if she really believed all those validations. But when it came time for her to go, I just thought it was interesting that she came to me and says, "What is it like?" And I said, "Gloria, there is going to be a party over there like you do not believe. They can't wait to see you." And it's true. And I mean, I had a validation of her the other day. She loved chips, loved eating chips. So Ken and I were having some chips, and immediately she said, "Oh, I miss those chips." And it was Gloria. I felt it. I felt it was her. It wasn't Drew. I felt it was her. And so, when you start, like, I could have been a skeptic and said, "No, that wasn't her." And, I could say that. But because I feel it, that's how I know it's true.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's always about like, oh, what if? What if it's true? And then you continue with the what ifs, and then you see that, oh, well, it is true. And I feel it in my heart. When you speak, I feel it in my heart. The hope that you gave her, the hope that we can give people is just so precious to God, because we are truly doing God's work. We don't have to be professional mediums that have appointments set, just speaking to people about things that nobody speaks about, that have to do with this life and the afterlife, can be so life-changing for them, especially when they're about to transition.
Yeah, you have a great point. We don't talk enough about it. And so when somebody is approaching the end of their life, they do get scared. I mean, but there's nothing to be scared of now that I know that, right? I mean, I used to be frightened, very frightened of it. But now I'm not frightened at all about it. And I wanted her not to be frightened. So I think in the beginning she was skeptic, but then as she got closer, she wanted to know more. And being that I searched and I have told her many things, I think that's why she asked me, "What is it like?" Because I told her, I said, I search, I take classes, I do all this so that I can learn. And I think she crossed over just fine. And there was a party because she has many friends, her mom and dad, everybody's over there. Drew couldn't wait to see his grandmother. I know it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I love
that.
It's
beautiful.
It's like when we have parties for newborns, right?
Yes.
Because they're coming here and we have a party. And I was literally thinking yesterday, what if this baby is thinking, am I about to die? and go into emptiness and void and blackness, or I'm about to be reborn. Who knows what he
Right. So
thinks?
yeah, there's a big celebration when you have your baby, right?
Yeah.
Even when you find out you have you have a little baby in you, there's a celebration. It's beautiful. And same thing when you cross over. It's beautiful. It's not painful at all. You just like you walk through a door. And
Right.
that's what's beautiful about it.
And the cycle continues.
And the cycle continues. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much, Dana, for this beautiful hour together. This was so recharging for me. And
Well,
I know
thank
for-
you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I enjoyed it as well.
I
Always
know
to
that.
see you.
I
Always.
know that Drew is like ecstatic that we made this happen, and he wanted himself to be put out there. You know, he wanted for us to see him performing, for us to see his mom, for us to see how he communicates with you, because we don't know who's going to benefit from it. Maybe the person or those people have not even commented, but they are taking something away with them from
Yes.
this interview today, and that's what matters. That's the little hope that person needs to just go on one more day, because then their loved ones are going to put more hope and more hope in the next days and keep on guiding them. Thank you all so much for joining us as well from the chat here, Mary, Amy, Tina. Thank you all so much, Tara, Dawn, everybody that has been watching. Do you have last words to say before saying goodbye?
I just want to say, Sylvia, like our loved ones, they're proud of us. They're proud of us when we can do this work and connect, because they want to connect too. They desperately want to, and they have to lower their vibration. So it's not just us working, they're working too, because they want us. So I just hope I'm able to help somebody revitalize their connection and to keep going. It's a beautiful journey, actually.
I love what you're saying. They want to connect with us, and everything that we do to connect with them does not go unnoticed. So they have their eyes on us. They know
That's
what's
right.
going on.
And they're proud of us.
Very much.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Dana. Oh my God. And thank you, Drew, for making this happen. It's like, yes. So finally, yes. Before the baby is born, because he wanted for this to happen before.
Exactly.
So exciting. And then the perfect way, live, so that we could interact as well.
Yes.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody, and I'm going to stay with you a little longer on Zoom. So thank you all so much. I'm about to stop the live stream, and I'll see you soon.